Hi, everybody. Welcome to our RuPaul's Drag Race recap show. You can see all of our previous shows over at yourrealityrecaps.com/dragrace and read Vince's amazing Drag Race blogs if watching isn't your thing. Also, if you are watching these back on iTunes, do us a favor. 5-star rating and a nice review is pretty awesome. YouTube, you can click on these buttons, thumbs up and subscribe. That's great too. Lastly, if you want to help support our shows, consider becoming a patron. yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the Facebook group and shows and content and swag and cool stuff just for patrons. And of course, you guys know yourrealityrecaps.com/Canada. We are trying to raise money to get over to Canada to live stream that if you are a Big Brother Canada fan. But we have to talk 2 weeks of RuPaul's Drag Race tonight. Back from Oz, maybe. It's Miss Dawn Draper.
Hey, girlfriends. How are you? I've got a little bit of a hoarse voice, so we'll see how long this lasts.
Oh boy. That can be your drag name can be I was gonna say horse voice. That's rude. It can be horsey. It can be whispers.
I sound like Jessica Rabbit. Like I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way.
I'm not. Oh my god, I can't wait. We gotta wait till we get there. Block. But we gotta wait till we get there. But no, I just want to say it now. Saddest moment of last night's episode for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Was I now know I have a heart because I can feel it break. That's not sad when they say it on The Wizard of Oz. It's sad when RuPaul says it.
Yeah, well, I've got a lot more to say about that. So.
All right, let's start with last week's show because neither one of us were here. We've both been anthraxed, which was all about boop, 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 boop. Snatch game. Miss Dawn Draper, who were you loving from Snatch Game last week?
So I have to say that for those of you that don't know, like I've been watching RuPaul's Drag Race from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So my standards are set based on previous seasons. I was underwhelmed overall. The queens came into the year or came into the season knowing that they're going to have to do the Snatch Game. And I guess if everybody doesn't know what that is, the Snatch Game is where one of the drag queens impersonates a celebrity. Mm-hmm. And they have to make it comedic. So they come in and they all kind of have a plan. This time, however, 2 people wanted to do Whoopi Goldberg, so there was some deliberation. Mm-hmm. But then moving on, you want to know who I liked the most in the Snatch Game?
Well, how about this? How about we do this? This will be fun. Let's do it this way. Let us start with Naomi Smalls being Tiffany Pollard, New York, who most of us know from Jason Roy and our Celebrity Big Brother recaps.
Which is crazy because we all know that Tiffany has got big bazoombas, right? And you look at Naomi Smalls and she was Naomi Flats. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're going to bring your game and you're going to impersonate someone, at least like put some tube socks in there or something. It was a very underwhelming performance for me. She didn't bring Tiffany at all, and as a Tiffany fan, I was disappointed. How did you feel, Eric?
I underwhelmed, did not like it, totally agree with what you said, not really feeling any of their performances. Lisa D. Ginger Snaps in the chat room says, nothing compares to Ginger Minge last season as Adele. Yeah, I think that one was pretty good. I loved Thorgy's Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm. He did a good Michael Jackson. You know, he pulled on the events from Michael Jackson's life, like holding blanket and, you know, being goofy. So that was funny. I also appreciated the obvious choice, Derek Barry being Britney Spears.
Yeah.
She was not that innocent.
She was not that innocent. I was definitely glad that she went and did Britney. So were the judges. I think she was a little bit scared. Of course, if you're only listening to this back, you should watch some of our video versions. You can be seeing all the pictures of what we're talking about. If I had to say to you, who do you feel was the most racist on the panel? Who would you pick?
Gosh, well, let's see. Chi-Chi was Eartha Kitt, and I guess it would be, maybe the person that played the drag impersonator dictator of Korea, Kim Jong-un.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh my God. I was just like, Kimchi, what are you doing?
It was like, Kimchi came into it and said, that's what she wanted to do. Or I think she was going to do that, or she was going to do Pearl, who was a previous contestant, which would be weird too. But it didn't really, the humor didn't go over that well. She did this. I mean, she didn't really do that much to it. So another underwhelming performance. And this is like the thing that everybody looks forward to in Drag Race. This is the Drag Race merge. This is the thing that happens every season that you look forward to. And I thought it was just like, eh. But
Well,
let's talk about Acid Betty.
oh, I was going to say, who gets the award for most womp womp Acid Betty?
Has she ever turned on CNN or Fox News? I don't know what channel she's on, but I mean, everybody's seen Nancy Grace. I mean, Acid Betty didn't even look like her, and let alone she didn't act like her. So I was really like.
Can you do Nancy Grace?
Can I? Well, I probably, hold on, let me get my Texas out. I'm losing my voice, so hold on. People, listen to me. Listen to me. That woman, Jodi Arias, that woman is a murderer. She's a murderer. And she should be put away. How's that?
That was good. I mean, I've never really watched Nancy Grace. I thought Carson did it, and I thought Carson did it very well.
Oh, thanks for the applause.
I liked it. Ooh, David.
I'm a little Texas to begin with.
David Thielen says Carson did it better.
I'm sure Carson did it better. His paycheck's bigger than mine too, David.
Exactly. Well, now, what about your favorite?
Well, my favorite is going to be the person who actually. Oh,
Well, I meant your favorite contestant.
No, my favorite contestant are Seattle Queen, Robbie Turner, who there were two previous Snatch Game winners from Seattle who she's friends with. Jinx Monsoon, who did Little Edie from the documentary and movie Grey Gardens, and then Ben de la Creme, who did another obscure person. I can't remember who it was. So she did Diana Vreeland, who was the editor-in-chief of Vogue, like in the 70s. Really obscure, but she didn't like show up. Like, Robbie really got into her head, and I think that she had been practicing it and planning it for so long that when she actually showed up, she just overthought it. And then she blamed a poor performance on losing her voice. And I swear I didn't plan this. I didn't lose my voice because Robbie did.
Well, if you had a maybe it's not exactly whispery, but maybe you could purr. I can't do it. Purr, I can't roll an R. Purr, purr. It stopped short. Purr. Anyway, Eartha Kitt, and our Chi-Chi.
I thought she was great.
I think it was Acid Betty who was like, she just played Catwoman. She's not literally a cat. Like when Chi-Chi like put her legs up and was like licking herself. Yeah.
Well, when she was in the workroom and like making her outfit, Ru came in and said, Chi-Chi, who are you going to do this week? And she said, I'm going to do Eartha Kitt. And she says, well, how are you going to make Eartha Kitt funny? And she says, well, he said, do you know who Eartha Kitt is? And she says, well, I know that she was Catwoman. And he said, okay, okay. And how are you going to make her funny? Well, I have a cat. So, and that was it. Yeah. And Ru was like, okay. All right, well, we'll see how that goes. But I thought she was great. Her Eartha Kitt impression was really funny. And the fact that she acted like a cat, I mean, Eartha Kitt does, so it worked.
Well, you know who else worked it, almost worked it more than everybody else, was our Bob the Drag Queen, who pulled out not one, but two looks for this Snatch game. And I think, I don't have the other one. It was that, and it was it Whoopi?
No, he was, Carol Channing.
Carol Channing, that's right.
He was
the
one
black
that came
Carol
in,
Channing.
like having 3 people that he could play. I mean, rule of the game should be for future contestants, if you're going to come to play, bring at least 3 characters, because there might be crossover. You might want to change your mind. So he sits down as Uzo Aduba, playing.
Thank God you could say that name. Say it 3 times fast.
Uzo Aduba, Uzo Aduba, Uzo Aduba.
Can't do it.
I don't know if it's right. But, so it was Uzo Aduba, the actress, playing Crazy Cats, the character in Orange is the New Black series from Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Flawless. Like, I, looked at her and I thought, I mean, she's so good. And then I just, she really could play a lot of people. She's just very theatrical. And then mid-Snatch game, they don't show it on camera, but she changes and she comes back as a very white comedian from a very long time ago. Well, maybe not that long for me, but she comes back as Carol Channing, a black Carol Channing. It was hilarious.
I think our audience knows who Carol Channing is.
I mean, yeah. I mean, probably. Some of the other contestants didn't, though. So I'm sure. Not sure.
Right.
Thanks, Robert Duckerman.
What? Oh, yeah. So I think we both kind of agree on the overwhelming feeling of this Snatch game was just kind of like,
very underwhelming. And I think that probably that the logo and the people at, World of Wonder, the network, felt the same, because I didn't really see very much on. I was gone when the episode was on, and I had to watch it later, and I didn't see that much on the internet, people talking about it. So it seemed like it was kind of kept quiet.
Well, they tried to then go with their powerhouse of who we can always count on for some good gay, and that's Madonna. For Madonna inspired final runway looks.
Yes, it was
kimono.
It was Night of 1,000 Madonnas. So they were given the challenge to come out and look like any one of 1,000,000 of the decades of Madonna.
Yeah.
Now, P.S. They're all in the same workroom together. So they're seeing what each other is doing. And literally, Naomi,
all of them.
Chi, they all came out with the Nothing Really Matters kimono look. The exceptions were
Rob.
He was Bedtime Story.
Right.
With the big pregnant belly with the birds.
Yep.
And you have that picture, which was nice to see something different. I mean, Eric, if you were on Drag Race and you were going to given this challenge, which Madonna look would you have chosen?
What Madonna look would I have chosen?
A decade. I mean, an album. I mean, just seriously.
I honestly have to say, Frozen, was my favorite Madonna album. I probably would have gone
that'd
with...
be black hair Madonna,
But it also would have been kimono, Nothing Really Matters Madonna. So I would have probably been right in...
Yeah.
But I mean, I probably would have changed it up. If I would have saw everybody else was doing it, I would have definitely changed it up.
I would have 100% done erotica Madonna. When she put out the erotica album, Black Mask, the S&M book, I would have done that. Black Whip, it's easy, minimal makeup, I would have done that.
That's true. What did you think of your fave, Robbie Turner doing
A League of Their Own? It was really cute. Yeah, I thought it was really cute. I'm glad that she had an outfit that kind of went along with that. I'm glad that she stepped outside of the box. And then also, Bob the Drag Queen did a Madonna look from the 2013 Logo GLAAD Awards.
Yeah, I got it.
Dressed as a Boy Scout with a big political statement there. So, and as a result, Bob the Drag Queen won that look and won the Snatch game.
And won the Snatch game. But what did you think of Chi-Chi? Of Chi-Chi's cone Madonna that he made apparently out of tinfoil hours before.
Right, and did all the little, like,
Beading.
The little beading work. I think started at 6 a.m. in the morning, if I remember. I mean, impressive. Like, at least, like, she did something and was different. I mean, that's a really iconic look, too, with that blonde ambition, like, you know, Fever. So
We also have to acknowledge Michelle Visage's, who always looks like Madonna, I feel like a lot of the time, look.
She loves Madonna. She has, Madonna took out a restraining order against Michelle Visage. True story. And that look that she's wearing there, I think is the erotica kind of look too.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit. Here is a better look of Bob close up as the winner of it all. And, you know, they kind of weighted it, I feel like, thanks to the Snatch game as well, because really that look on there.
I have to say something funny is that Bob won this challenge and he won $7,000 in purses from Lux DeVille purses. And this running joke throughout the season has been purse first. And I thought it was really great. I'm like, first of all, I'm like, $7,000 in purses. That's a lot. Like, that's like a lifetime of purses. And then he also like won jewelry. Like Bob's gonna have like a lot of stuff, but I thought it was funny that he won purses and he's like purse first. So that was fun.
Well, let's now jump to what's actually happening off of the main stage for a moment. All the queens backstage for Untucked. We see our Acid Betty is getting her phone call from home.
Yeah, her sister, right? It was her sister that called her.
Might as well have been her twin.
Oh, yeah, they did look alike.
They looked so alike. And we also have to acknowledge that it was Gigi from Yolanda from Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Gigi Hadid, yeah.
Gigi Hadid was one of the judges, and I forget who the other judge was.
It was Chanel Iman.
Oh, there you go. And it was Naomi Smalls, like, idol, and I thought she was going to eat her.
Yeah, I was like, she was really excited about it. So it was, you know, because it's the supermodel show, so they had the supermodels on it.
Yeah, it was a supermodel show. They had the supermodels on it, but of course it was our Acid Betty that ended up going home. And I gotta say, I kind of disappointed. I didn't think that he would end up going that soon, number one. I know they always get rid of the old drag queens soon and early, but
I was surprised it was this soon. They judge you as a whole. They don't, like, you know, boot you off because you did bad one week. It's not like a bad Survivor week. They really look at your whole performance and if you've taken direction, etc. And I thought he would last longer. But, you know, I think that Acid Betty came and did exactly what he needed to do. I don't think he would have been a great winner. I don't think he would have enjoyed it. Not that he wouldn't be good at it. I just don't think he would like it. So
I gotta say, it's really different. I watched the What You Packin', the What You Packin' episode where Miss Michelle sits down with them and goes over what looks they don't have. He was much more humble.
Yes, much more humble. It was like relief.
Right.
I mean, I felt like it was relief. And what Michelle tells a lot of the drag queens is, you know, she hears it over and over again, is they get stuck in their head and they overthink things, and they're what gets them, like, you know, kicked off earlier is they overthink things and they're not themselves. So
right.
It was nice to see that part of Acid Betty. She's a fantastic artist. She makes everything that she wears, she sews and makes. She makes her nails. Of course, we've seen, you know, her makeup. But you guys, if you're a fan of Acid Betty, you should check out, like, her website. I mean, her artwork is just phenomenal. She's so colorful, and I really kind of wish now, after we did see that side of her, that we could have seen more of her.
Well, we kind of saw. Oops, sorry, I had to pull my chair off. We kind of saw a little bit of it in Untucked, that we saw a little bit more of a personal side of Acid Betty with the sister and how they work together, and I thought that was touching. I pretty much feel like anytime they do that, it's almost like a little wink, nod, you're going.
I know.
It's like a little, you're out of there.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. That is pretty much all that happened last week.
And also, I just have to say, the lip sync battle, Acid Betty's was, not great either. And Naomi fought for it.
Naomi did fight for it, yes. She definitely did. But I mean, well, let me ask you this quickly. What did you think of Acid Betty? Like, I know her performance was horrible. But I would say Naomi's was way worse.
Like her performance.
Her Snatch Game performance.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I also think that Acid Betty's runway look was worlds better than Naomi's look.
We're going to see a repeat of these kind of rando judges' decisions in the next week, which we're getting ready to talk about, because I see the same kind of elimination pattern for the person who's eliminated next. So I can yes, I agree with you. It just didn't make a lot of sense.
It didn't make a lot of sense. Well, okay, let's talk about this week's RuPaul's Drag Race, which I 100% loved, except now I want to know what you have to say about this.
Okay.
Because as we all know, like you said before, Snatch Game very much a staple of RuPaul's Drag Race that people look forward to, as is the library is open.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to read.
The library is open, and I was underwhelmed by it.
But Eric, reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental, but I just didn't like it.
Okay, so we can go ahead and we're going to move on to this episode, which is episode 6, titled Wizards of Drag, the Wizard of Oz theme. The show opens and the queens are walking into the workroom talking about Acid Betty leaving. They see her message on the mirror, and they're Bob and Derek start fighting with each other. So we've kind of been seeing this brewing a little bit, where they have had some animosity towards each other. And Bob says, you should do this, and Derek, and anyway, so we start with that. And then we move into Ru coming in and telling everyone that the library is open and it's time to read. Oh my gosh, and I actually had here we go. I had these.
Oh, good. This is perfect. You ready, Miss Von Draper? I'm giving you the...
You're not put me on the spot to read, are you?
Oh, okay.
I'm not a queen.
Okay, well, just read Robert Zuckerman in the chat room. You have 30 seconds. And watch how good this is going to be. You got full screen. And go.
God. Okay. Robert Zuckerman. Oh, God. I can't do... Okay, hold on.
Robert Zuckerman.
Robert Zuckerman. Okay, you do it first.
Okay, hold on. I'm back. I had to go grab something. Here's
Robert Zuckerman. Your daughter Amanda is so beautiful. Makes you wonder, who did her mom sleep with?
That ding 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 ding. That was good. I didn't know where I would have went, but I knew it had to be about Amanda.
I'm sorry.
So if you don't know what the library is open and reading is for the drag queens, it's where all of the shade of it all. It's where the drag queens put on their glasses and they criticize jokingly.
Like there's an art to it. There's a very fine line to what is considered crass, what is funny, what is acceptable. And they just stand there and they can say something about each person. And if anyone is watching Drag Race, you saw like the part that you saw on the episode, there's actually an extended read on logo.com where you can see all of the Queen's reads. There's like an extra like 6 or 7 minutes of it.
Which we can't play because we got in trouble the last time we played anything. So, do you remember any of the reads? Did you like none of them? None of them.
I mean, I don't remember them word for word because they're not funny unless you say them word for word. I remember what they're about. They made fun of Chi-Chi's lack of being able to sew, and Robbie Turner being old and needing a flipper, and that Bob was so black if he sat in water he made coffee, and
oh my God, they left that off the show.
Oh, they did? That must have been on the logo.
Yeah, maybe that's why they left it off. Tess McClain brings up a really good point. She says, I think they're not good at reading because they're all kind of sweet this season. I do agree. They are not nasty cutthroat this season.
They're not, but you can't compare it to like the season of the Heathers where everybody was just to each other. So, I thought the reads were funny. I thought some of them were really well thought out. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just the personality traits they picked to choose. I think maybe if they did the read I was going to say if they did it in next week's episode, it may be better just so they know each other a little bit more. But honestly, they're down to 7 queens at the beginning of this episode and 6 at the end. So
right,
you got to have enough.
What?
What did you think, though?
As far as the reads go, I said it. It's the same thing where, Snatch Game, I feel, is such a staple to RuPaul's Drag Race, and I definitely felt let down last week. Yeah. And now, again, I was just nothing was... Derek... yes, by the way, I think it was Sherry Blackberry, said kind of like Zingbot. Yes, exactly like Zingbot on Big Brother, except you're doing it to the people's in person. You're not in a robot suit.
And you do it to you do it to each person. One person reads like every other person. So
right. I wish I could remember what the Britney one was. When
David Thielen says my favorite was Chi-Chi called Thorgy
the homeless person. Yeah, when he was I don't know if I should put change in your cup. I also liked when they were like, Derek Barry heard Britney Spears, and he was like, Spears what?
He said, no, he said, yeah, something like
he thought
like he thought he was fencing or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. See, they're not funny if you just explain what they're about. You have to have them exactly. I guess I should have written them down, but I didn't do that.
Well, I knew we had to go fast. I knew we had a lot to cover this episode, and we weren't going to get to all of it. So then we find out our Ru is going to give us a Wizard of Oz themed challenge.
Did you that editing was perfect. Did you do that with just one webcam?
Yes, just one.
Yes, this week is the Wizard of Drag. So after the challenge is over, chat room, everybody, guess who won? Well,
oh yeah, guess who won? Guess who won? Chat room. Who do you all think won the reading challenge? Go ahead, tell him, Miss Dundraper.
I want to give someone a chance to if they typed it. Bob, which by the way, Bob was told in last week's critique by Michelle Visage that he needed to not showboat so much. So, he's about ready to get some humble pie though. So this is the Maxi Challenge. Yeah, this is the Maxi Challenge, which is really kind of funny this week because it's actually mini. So surprise, we have the Wizards of Drag announced, and RuPaul says your challenge this week will include the cast from Little Women LA. So the Little Women LA come out, and you can see the picture there, and each of them have already been given a character from the Wizard of Oz. And one by one, they go through and pick the queen that they want to work with, which is totally all planned beforehand, by the way. They're not really picking. It's like been picked for them.
Clearly. But now, wait. Be honest.
Yeah.
What did you think when they all came out and they said they were all going to be characters from Wizard of Oz?
Well, I didn't think what you're thinking, and I know you so well. I know what you're thinking because I actually watched that show. So when they walked out, I was thinking, oh, look, there's Tara, and oh, look, there's Tanya, and I know these characters.
What was I thinking?
You were thinking something about the Munchkins.
That is so rude to call them Munchkins, Miss Don Draper. I would never. I would call them part of the Lollipop Guild.
Can I hold on? Eric.
Mm-hmm.
People might wonder if you had a job or not, but they're too busy watching you in a chat room and giving you money that you begged for to go to Canada.
That lost it at the end. You were good. You had a good start.
I had a better plan.
No, David Thielen.
I'm not gay. I don't have the gay gene.
I have to say, let's be political for a moment. I never knew, and maybe other people don't know this and might be, I will say I was ignorant in not knowing this. I knew that you don't call little people midgets, but I never knew why until this show when they explained it, and it was because, like, that describes the size of a thing, not a person.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I learned something.
Yeah, it's like an identifier, and I guess I took that for granted because I watch a lot of the Little People series and shows. So, and then little people will call someone like you and I average size. They don't say big people,
right?
You know, so there's
well, they said they liked little people. All I knew is that you're not supposed to
people.
say midget, and apparently I mean I knew you weren't supposed to. Now I know why you're not supposed to.
You think Munchkin would have been okay?
No, I didn't think Munchkin would have been okay. But I mean, Rue is very much like tongue-in-cheek, and she pushes the joke as far as it can go. So I'm surprised I was like, oh God, she's not gonna do that, is she? There's no way she's going with a Munchkin theme here. But I wanted to tell Christine from Big Brother, she is obsessed with this show.
Oh, is she?
She loves this Little People LA show, and I always try and get her to watch Drag Race, and I was like, totally forgot to tell her, they're on.
It's a big series, and they have, spin-offs and et cetera, et cetera. So, that would have been, you should tell her to go back and watch it. So anyway, to get back to the show, we have all of our characters that they've been assigned. So we have Robbie Turner is partnered with Christy. He's going to be the Cowardly Lion. Bob is Glinda the Good Witch.
Well, do we want to show it? Do we want to start?
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, for sure. We can. Okay. So anyway, they're given their partners, and the challenge is they're supposed to create a couture look that represents the character they're given, such as Dorothy, and that they're supposed to look like a drag family. So the contestant and the little person should look alike. And then in the middle of the challenge, when they're working on it, they're thrown in one more thing that they have to do and interpret a bit.
So stupid. Okay, can we start with Robbie Turner?
Sure.
Because I have a prop. So Robbie Turner went with, he was the Cowardly Lion, and all I could think during the episode was, I have that crown! I have it! Like, when I was watching the, where is it? I think I have another, maybe I didn't upload it. Oh yeah, here we go. When I had the little side view of her, I'm like, oh my God, I have that crown! That's my crown. I can wear that.
I think what they did is when they came back from their assignments, that
they went to Party City.
Yeah, because there's like a table full of a bunch of stuff from like Party City like this.
So did you like Robbie's look? Did you like the Cowardly Lion look?
No, but I don't think it was the worst look. I mean, I didn't like it. I didn't hate it though.
I didn't like it, and I didn't hate it either. Lisa D. Gingersab, sorry, I'm not a Robbie fan. Well, I have to say, the look that I thought was hands down the best, apparently nobody else liked.
Mm-hmm.
Which look did you think was the best? Before I say which one I think was mine. Or I'll let you guess mine.
I thought that it was, I mean, I would have given it to the person that actually won, which is Naomi. But I thought Kim Chi's was pretty cool too.
Do we have... I guess we don't have a picture of Naomi's.
Yeah.
Why don't I see... Oh, I'm missing a whole row. That makes so much more sense now. Okay, here's Naomi's, yeah. Oh, wait.
What did you think?
Well, I'm going to let you guess in what... Honestly, I forgot about Naomi's. But no, I still like somebody's much better. But let's show everybody Naomi's. She was Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't you think her little person was a little Lady Gaga?
Yeah, she, there's different kinds of dwarfism, and she's got like a body type that makes her look really lean, even though she's a little person.
Mm-hmm.
So she did look a lot like Lady Gaga, especially after she got that wig on. She was really, they were good together because they're both really thin. So that's why that partnering was, I think, kind of made. So
now I want you to guess whose look do you think whose look did I like the best?
Well, I know it wouldn't be Dorothy, and
chat room, you can guess too.
I guess I don't. Why would you like Thorgy? I guess maybe Thorgy. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know who you would have liked the best, honestly.
Thorgy, final answer?
Yeah.
Thorgy's correct! I liked Thorgy's the best. I thought it popped so well on camera. I completely disagreed with the judges who were like, it looks like someone vomited in your hair. I thought it was... Oh, or lettuce head, says Maximus.
They called it like they called it Grinch pubes.
Yeah, Grinch pubes. I was like, what? What? No. I completely loved it. I thought the entrance... Well, who had best entrance?
Kim Chi, hands down. Okay, wait, freeze it on that picture for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have echo. The person, there was a person underneath that big long skirt. So that is Kim Chi's look. And Kim Chi was the Wicked Witch, and her partner is Brianna, and she has her lifted up above her head.
Like
and
Wicked.
That was her entrance. It was like, yeah, like all like Lion King, like.
It was exactly... I thought it was very Wicked. I thought it was very straight out of...
like when the Glinda the Good Witch is in the ball and comes down.
Yeah. Defying gravity and all. But there's their looks. There's their...
Yeah. And you guys have to remember, they had to literally make these clothes. They were given fabric because their looks had to match. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they just went to their closet and said, oh, I have this in a size 14 and in a size like 2. So they had to make everything. So if you think about it, they're given 1 day for this challenge. Mm-hmm. And her look was phenomenal. Kim Chi is very inspired by couture, and one of the guest judges this week was the party monster. Well, I might say Marc Jacobs, party monster. We'll leave it at that. And so, if I ever had a chance to show off what I could do, I would choose Marc Jacobs for it to be in front of. Although, if you ask Kim Chi who it was, I'm not Kim Chi, if you ask Chi Chi who it was, she'll tell you it was Bob Mackie.
Yeah, Bob Mackie.
She got his name wrong. That was funny.
And I think we both agree on who had the worst outfit.
Well,
3.
I hated Derek Barry's.
Oh, I was going to 3, 2, 1 it with you and say Derek Barry, worst outfit ever. And he is defending this shit to the death.
Yep.
And I loved it. I loved Michelle being like, she's like, I sewed it. I sewed it. There's hems. And she's like, you wrapped a piece of fabric around your waist. He's like, it's tearaway.
She's like, I'm not a seamstress. I'm not a seamstress. I'm like, yeah, we can tell that you didn't do it again. Oops. So, I mean, she's like, for 5 episodes, she's come out in like a swimsuit, leotard, with some skirt. And this is what makes me so mad. And I'm going to have my breath to have my argument about the person who is in the bottom two. I mean, we talked about everybody now. I think we're getting close to...
No, we got to talk about one more. We got to talk about one more because we kind of teased it. Okay. We saw our winner of seeming to be almost everything.
Oh, yes, we have to talk about it. Please show the before picture, will you?
Well, first, here is our Bob and being Glinda the Good Witch.
There's a picture that says, with the wording on it, that says 15 minutes.
Oh, yes. This was Bob literally 15 minutes before. Not in drag.
It's cut off at the bottom. You guys can't see it. But one of the producers or stagehand people say 15 minutes. And Bob is like, what the what? So he got his partner, Brianna, like all done up. She looked amazing. And Bob was like, I'm totally like 15 minutes. Like what?
So ready? 15 minutes. Boom. Yeah. So
he looks like 15 he went minutes. To shop at. He looks like he went to bed after 3 glasses of wine, had a Xanax and an Ambien. Then somebody drunk texted him, woke him up, and then he decided to go shop at Walmart in the middle of the night and left his contacts out. I mean, bad. Like his outfit, like he had to try. It was just. I understand he didn't have time to put on his makeup, but like he made her look amazing, and they didn't match. But what I want to know, Eric, do you think he did it on purpose? I think he wouldn't showboat? Because people have been coming for him. And chat room, what do you guys think?
Oh, that's an interesting theory.
That was the criticism he was given by Michelle Visage. He needed to quit showboating. And by showboating, it's not that she's telling him not to win. It's not like being so like in your face. But he's like, that's who, I mean, he's not doing it negatively, but I was just wondering if you thought that maybe he planned that all out, because Bob is smart. And when Bob said his excuse was, well, I wanted her to look fabulous, and Ross Matthews says, but she's not the contestant. I mean, you know, and I think Bob is smart enough to, I think he may have done it on purpose.
Yeah. It's a good point. I know we've seen him say to RuPaul, like, RuPaul, I listen to your podcast, I listen to all your stuff, you say to own it. I kind of feel like he would play to Ru more than Michelle.
Yeah. Tess McClain said that, like, she's like, wow, I never even thought about that.
But it is a good point. It definitely is a good point.
Even if he would had, like, the worst look and got the worst criticisms, he would know he is not going home. It's a good gamble. Everybody's been coming for him. And when people start to come for you, they start to do things to make your life more miserable. And there will be tasks coming up, like next week, where you have to work with a partner. So he knows this show so well. Oh my God, I feel like Bill Clinton. He knows it so well. I don't know. Like, I think it was planned.
Let's talk about those judges. Let's talk about those judgy judges. Ross Matthews.
He's like the permanent, you know, come here, you know, it's either Ross or it's Carson. They kind of trade out. And then we had our guest judges again, Mark Jacobs and Todrick Hall. Who was fabulous. I love Todrick Hall. This is a little side note. Okay, Lisa Ginger Snaps, I know you're in here. Todrick Hall is a musician, and he was on American Idol. He was on this season of Dance Moms, where he did a Wizard of Oz themed music video.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
they all
funny.
like dressed up like Wizard of Oz. Like I know at least one person in here watches Dance Moms, and I'm like, do all these people talk? Like that's like three different network crossovers. Like we've been pointing out like the Big Brother crossovers and
I
the
can't
other
wait
show
to see.
crossovers, but I'm like, like when one season like two things Wizard of Oz, come on.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have to talk about
Oh yeah, Lisa said yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
the worst part of the episode, yet in
Okay.
a way the best.
Yeah.
The interpretive dance.
Yeah. Eric, do you have your sword?
No.
You don't have a sword?
I don't
We
need
have-
a sword. It's interpretive dance. I can just do
I
this.
know.
I'm a flower.
Cross your sword
Yeah.
and cross your sword
And cross my
and then
sword.
change your sword
And then change the
and then
sword.
cross your
And
sword.
then cross the sword.
They
And
had to
then
do an
fly.
interpretive dance to the poppy fields of the Wizard of Oz.
That's all they did.
So they were high, essentially supposed to be high and like listen to the music. And the song was, oh my gosh, the song is that
One I liked back when
the
RuPaul used to do music.
Hold on. I think trying to remember it on my own. Is it that? Okay, you keep talking. Hold on. I know I wrote it down.
Well, while you're looking for it, I'll say my favorite one was the Tin Man.
If
Was-
I Dream is
Yeah.
the name of the song. If I Dream, yeah, that's it.
I loved the little Tin Man. It was like little person down. Although Kim Chi, like the judges' faces when Kim Chi is smacking hers all over the place, and they're just like too far.
It was just, I mean, they weren't given any direction other than do interpretive dance. And I think it was just a time filler. It wasn't
No,
to
yeah.
let the judges know if they were talented. It does show, like, how well do you work together. Interpretive dance basically means it's not choreographed.
Right, exactly. So, we're almost running out of time. What do you want to say about the final two?
So, the, let's see. Sorry.
It came down to
It came down to the bottom two were Robbie Turner, my favorite, and my brain just
Derek Barry.
Sorry, Derek Barry. So here's what I have to say about this, and this goes along with what happened with Acid Betty last week. I went back and I watched it twice to make sure I didn't miss anything. I watched from the moment they walked out with their little person, through their performance, through the judges' criticism, and they're talking amongst each other. Before the queens left the stage, they asked them, each one of them, to choose who they thought should go home or
Right.
should be eliminated. And it was a split vote. It was a 4-3 vote. 4 said that Derek was the worst, and 3 said Chi-Chi was the worst. Or it was vice versa. It was 4-3. So everybody named one of those two people, okay? So you would think, like, that might, have some influence. Not really. Again, it's the judges judging, and they're judging the whole thing. So the judges deliberate, and they're talking about everyone, and they're talking about how we had the big glue gun gate. Is that what they called it? Glue gun
I
gate?
think so, yeah.
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 Because they were like, saying like they didn't mind it and whatever. And so, Chi-Chi, it wasn't that bad that she used a glue gun. And they were talking about, different people like Bob not having his makeup, yada, yada. The bottom two end up being, again, Derek, who they said a lot about, like same look every week, didn't really ever change it up. And they had, and then Robbie Turner was the other person. Literally throughout that entire time, Michelle Visage says something to Robbie during his critique when he's standing there that, she's like, come on, Robbie, this is episode 6. You need to, like, at least get your, like, wig to fit right. You're better than this. That's it. And then after that, there was only one more comment made and again it was by Michelle, and it was about the bustle on the back of the dress.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing from Rue, nothing from Ross, nothing from Marc Jacobs. Nada. Why was Robbie in the bottom two? None of the queens picked him either.
Because he's old.
Okay, well, I want you to explain that. I mean, I understand, but that's your acid Betty point.
Because Rue knows that the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race needs to have a huge following on social media, has to be able to make money for him. And let's face it, it's kind of like our little home here at Reality Recaps. We're not like a 21 YouTuber shirtless running through LA and having hundreds of people. We're kind of the older queens. We have the older crowd. That's
when
not.
You're young, you're still green and moldable. You know, it's like that on all the shows. But and people are saying in the chat room, like, you know, when he took his wig off, you know, their drag performances were like, I mean, this is also funny when they were talking about the bottom two. RuPaul actually called Derek Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, I know that Brittany's is listening and is really frustrated. And Michelle Visage says, you just called her Brittany. And she's like, oh, I did. And
I mean, Derek Barry
Derek is going to perform. He's going to beat anybody in a lip sync. So you can't say that Robbie went home because his lip sync wasn't as good as Derek's.
Here's what I disagree. Here's what I found interesting. So we see Derek doing his performance, and we saw Robbie doing his, which I know for a fact that I know for a fact, I loved their song that they did. The I saw you kind of stamina. Yeah, okay, but
I don't care.
I don't care by Ayana Pop.
I love it.
I thought it was interesting and also incorrect when in Untucked we see Robbie Turner say, I just need to learn these words. It's only about the lip sync. No, it's not.
I think he meant, like, at that moment. Like, because he was trying to get rid of his little person partner, I thought. I mean, I saw the same thing you did.
I've seen a lot of the queens saying that. They're like, we need to know the words. It's most important to have a perfect lip sync.
Like, articulate, yeah.
No, it's not. You're halfway across the stage. You have to flip, tumble.
They want to make sure that you're, like, you know, like, whatever. Like, I don't ever think it comes down to the actual lip sync performance unless those two people are seriously neck and neck. And usually if they're neck and neck, Rue either lets both of them go or he keeps both of them. So
right. Well,
I think you're right. I think we're onto something here.
Well, it turned out to be, sadly enough, our Robbie Turner, who was voted off this week. But what I did love, and what I found...
He wrote on the mirror. I know. I tried to find a picture.
Oh, no, we'll end with that. I got it. I have it.
Show that to Giselle.
Yeah. But what I loved was what they're doing more, and they're not... I don't remember if I grabbed this from the show or from Untucked, but I like this whole leaving of the notes for the people.
Yeah, that they really showed a lot. I mean, that's the first time I've seen that this season. Like, it was nice. They were nice long messages, and it really, like you said earlier, you know, RuPaul said the quote from The Wizard of Oz. He said, you know, when... So you say it again, Eric. The heart
he said it's from the Tin Man says in The Lion King, now I know I have a heart because I can feel it breaking when Dorothy goes home. Right.
So, and I think Rue really was sad. I mean, his eyes were watered up, and I think you know, I think Rue understands the business too. Like, you know, he doesn't necessarily, you know, think things are fair. He's got to leave Derek there longer because Derek's got an established career, and he knows Derek's going to go back to Vegas, and people are going to be like, that's going to be like on his moniker. It's going to be like Britney Spears impersonator, you know, like as seen on Drag Race. And again, Britney is going to beat anybody in a lip sync battle. Like, so.
I don't know about that.
Who do you think would beat her?
Chi-Chi. Derek Barry doesn't do anything good. He does the same for Britney, you know, gyrate down, do the Britney hair flip, do the Britney. That's it. That's all he has. He does the same 4 Britney moves. He's just a good
true.
Britney.
I mean, it's true. And he's does flips and stuff. But I agree about Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi could beat him.
Yeah, Chi-Chi could beat him.
But we have to end this show for the playback. I feel, as you said, yes, we have had the sentimental moment with I Can Feel My Heart Breaking. Yeah. We have had the caring notes from the rest of the queens. And the way that Robbie Turner decides he is going to leave his moment with all of them is shouting out Giselle and writing trash bags on the mirror.
That's funny. I know. As soon as I saw that, I just laughed.
Trash bags.
It's like, it's a theme. You see it on like a lot of shows. I feel like maybe it's always been that way, and it just sticks out more because, you know, we use it a lot. Or
I think so. It was funny.
I thought it was funny. Like, I really died laughing. Like, and I just really thought it was funny.
I've never seen, I don't think I've ever heard that before we started doing shows, so I thought that was really
that's what I'm saying.
funny.
Like, I don't feel like I've never heard it before, but I hear people on, like, TV say it. Like,
yeah, maybe.
Other than, yeah.
Well, we will be back next week. I think, no, I don't remember. Did you see the preview for next week?
Yeah.
What was it? What a teaser.
It's partners. They're working as partners, and it looks like Bob and Derek are fighting again.
Well, what a surprise. Okay.
I'm sure by now there's probably a preview of next week already up.
Oh, I'm sure it is. You now, chat room. You guys don't go anywhere. Miss Don Draper, tell the people where they can find ya.
In the ether.
They can find you in the ether.
Miss Don Draper on Twitter.
Perfect. All right. I'm going to finally remember 4 ones to do the correct outro. So, Miss Don Draper, you don't go anywhere either. You now, chat room, you don't go anywhere. If you guys are like, what are you talking about? Then what I mean is watch our shows live on younow.com/realityrecaps. Of course, again, 5-star rating and a nice review in iTunes. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click on these buttons, thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to help support our shows,